Trending nationwide this week is a tragic 18th century romance between a girl and a guy from two families. This has been a big box office hit, leaving millions wiping away their tears in movie theaters all across the country. But movie critic Manning Franks has some different thoughts on Wuthering Heights.
A little bit of backstory, dear viewers. I first read the novel Wuthering Heights back in the twilight years of my time in middle school. Now, admittedly, I didn't fully grasp or understand, I was far too young, the dark and emotionally brutal themes present within Emily Bronte's novel. So my affinity is minimal. But still, my wife and I were excited to see Emerald Fennell's adaptation, hopefully a bold reinterpretation with modern relevance. Instead, what I was treated to was a character assassination of not only Bronte's work, but the audience's own intelligence.
What should you do, Heathcliff? If you were rich?
Suppose I'd do what all rich men do, take a wife.
A wife? What wife?
Loosely adapted from the 1947 novel by Emily Bronte, Wuthering Heights follows Cathy and Heathcliff, whose deep childhood bond evolves into a passionate but deeply destructive relationship. Amidst societal expectations that drift them apart, their relationship, as years go by, turns into a cycle of longing and ruin. First, let's start with the positive. The craftsmanship is undeniable. The vibe-shifting, morose score featuring Charlie XCX, the striking cinematography, and the bombastic costumes and production design give this film an excellent visual presence. Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi, alongside the rest of the committed cast, try their absolute darndest to cover emotional depth buried within a shallow script. However, this adaptation seems far more interested in Fennell's pseudo-sadistic fantasy than in understanding why Bronte's story has endured as a commentary on classism, racism, and toxic dynamics. Now, whether this was intended or not, Fennell repeatedly confuses destructive obsession with some form of genuine romance the audience should be rooting for. She pushes Cathy and Heathcliff as star-crossed lovers without any agency or identity outside of their toxic relationship. The main character's yearning feels empty, exhausting, and polished for aesthetics, as if the film were designed to be consumed in bite-sized TikTok edits for the vertical video generation. These characters are wholly annoying, trapped in a cycle of misery that never earns audience investment. Now, for those of you who have watched my reviews, you know I do not believe that adaptations should 100% adhere to the source material. Risks and liberties should be taken if a work is to survive as long as it has. Sadly, this Wuthering Heights seems more concerned about TikTokifying the material than actually honing in on the essence of what made Bronte's work. In my fit of yearning rage, I'm giving Wuthering Heights a disastrous movie to avoid. If you want, you can see it only in theaters.
Scathing review.
I have never seen Manning give a movie to avoid before.
Wow. I mean, the fact that he said it was just for TikTokers and like completely ruined the storyline, that's...
He asked me if I was going to see it. I said, I'm going to wait till it streams. And he said, that's a good idea. We'll be right back.